the U.S. and England World Cup advancement to the knockout round of 16 beginning this weekend. We've got England and the Netherlands on Saturday, and then England, the United States, and the Netherlands on Saturday, and then England and Senegal on Sunday. Both teams advanced today. They played, and the United States finally got their win. They just needed one win because Iran had a win, but all the states had to show for it thus far were a couple of draws. Huge game. Christian Pulisic with a goal right before halftime for the U.S. Marcus Rashford with two of his own in a 3-0 rout against Wales. England advancing on. 2 goals for Rashford for the Kings men. Some exciting stuff as the group stages are coming to an end now. Canada eliminated, obviously. One last chance for Germany. Hopefully they're going to get their must-needed win, and they're going to need all 3 of those points if they want to advance, if they want to keep going. They're playing Costa Rica later this week, so that's exciting. I'm going to be watching that game. World Cup action continuing on. We got some news. We got some Abreu to the Astros. We got some baseball news to talk about. It's been about a week, maybe more. How long has it been? But some baseball news because guys are moving around. Jeimer Candelario was sent over to the Nationals. We got the Verlander is having talks with the Dodgers now. We've got lots of conversation happening. Aaron Judge so far still a Yankee. We're gonna have to see what happens with him in the ensuing months. It's gonna be a lot of fun to cover baseball off season, but so far, because of all the free agents we've got. So far, we've got Jose Abreu to the Astros, 3-year, sub-$60 million deal. That is a very good deal for them. Astros obviously putting into consideration not just his ability to just be an outstanding first baseman and his offensive output as well. The guy's 35 years old, so 3 years, excellent time frame that I suppose they want to milk the last little bit of baseball that they got out of him. And I don't blame them. I mean, the Astros are getting it. The rich just get richer. I mean, like, come on, man. If we're looking at this from, obviously, if the Blue Jays got Abreu, which I would love it, but, that would cause a whole bunch of problems for their team with Vladdy at first base right now. Not saying that was ever going to happen. That was never in the chips. But if my team got Abreu, and that's the point I'm trying to make, I would be very happy, regardless of if they are the defending World Series champions, which they are. Abreu finished 8th this past year with a .304 batting average, 4th with 183 hits. He finished 2nd in RBIs in the 2021 year, and in 2020, he led the league. That was the shortened COVID season. He had 60 RBIs. So this guy is a hitting machine. I'd throw him right up there with Pete Alonso and Jose Ramirez as the best guys to just drive in runs. Absolute hitting machine. He played a different kind of game this season because he wasn't just driving in guys. He didn't have 100 RBIs this year. But he had an amazing hitting streaks. Like, his hitting was perfect. It was on point. It was great. White Sox had so many troubles this year. So Abreu looking for, I suppose, a team that's going to win, that's going to pay him, that's not rebuilding or headed in that direction, which I don't think the Sox are, but the Sox have to figure something out because this past year was a little bit of an embarrassment. In hockey news, Roope Hintz signs an 8-year, $68 million extension to stay with the Dallas Stars. This is very interesting because Roope Hintz, he didn't start right off of the gates as an amazing player. He had his breakout year last season. He had 37 goals. But before that, this is his 5th year now with the Stars. Before that, he was not this amazing point per player guy, explosive. We knew how big he was, how strong he was. 6'3", 215. He's just zipping up and down the ice now. And so the Stars are looking to continue to cultivate these kind of players into success, into a long-term commitment now. They're seeing this potential in Hintz. All it took probably for them was the opportunity and the offensive output that they were expecting with Roope in the beginning, which they weren't getting until last season. So everything's working out for them now because Roope, 37 goals last year in 80 games. He's killing it right now. This is his 5th year, and everything seems to be going well for Dallas. They're winning games. They got Jason Robertson playing like an MVP right now. So lots to get excited about with the Dallas Stars. The Canucks are playing the Capitals tonight. So this is pretty interesting because the Capitals are having a worse record-wise season than the Canucks. They, I believe, have an additional loss, a game behind the Canucks. The Canucks, man, if they get this win, this would be so huge for them. And I think it's totally possible. We got Spencer Martin in net, a phenomenal backup, believe it or not. He's 6-1-1. And it's nice to have a great backup like that can get you wins. We're seeing that in Tampa. Brian Elliott, 5-1. They're not pretty, but they're wins, and that's what's most important here. So this will be a good game. Both teams are 6th in their respective divisions. Capitals 6th in the Met. It's been a disappointing season thus far. Hopefully the Canucks can capitalize on that. So DeShaun Watson is returning to Houston this week, week 13. He's back. 11-game suspension. He's back. He's rolling. The Cleveland Browns are not necessarily in a position where they're going to make the playoffs. I really don't think that they are. That wasn't what they wanted. But they signed Watson, and they've been paying him. And they believe in this guy, that he can play the game of football, and that's exactly what they're going to be getting out of this guy. It's going to be a experimental year for them. I don't think they're going to be holding anything back. They're probably going to be trying to get as many wins as they can. This is to me, it's going to be a great year for them to set themselves up for success in the future. You add Amari Cooper, the rise of David Njoku, you sign him to a 3-year deal. You've got Donovan Peoples-Jones having a career season. You got Jacoby Brissett in the back. You got Nick Chubb having another amazing season, top 5 running back, just going at it, right? So all of this together, the Browns are in great shape. So they're returning to Texas, and that is probably exactly what they wanted because, I don't know, closure? Did they want to kind of put this to bed? Did they kind of want to move on? I'm sure DeShaun wants that because that's what's on his mind. And so attorney Tony Busby says that the women are wanting to make a statement that they're still here, they matter, their voices are heard, and that sexual harassment and assault are not over across the country, end quote. And I absolutely agree with this. This is something that is very prominent in the culture and the society. When you're a player, that you've got this ego, you're a millionaire, you're a famous player, you expect to kind of get what you want. I'm not saying this is the case with DeShaun Watson, but this is the lens that we're looking through as we analyze this entire case and how it can be prevented in the future. Because these women must feel betrayed. I'm sure that a lot of their clients are not necessarily these kind of professional athletes, but the culture is celebrated that this is okay, and that is not what we should be standing for or we should be acknowledging. We should be acknowledging it, but we shouldn't be condoning it because this kind of thing is real and this kind of thing is happening. So absolutely, you have the complete right to be this upset, to be angry. I think that is an important stand for them. So DeShaun Watson comes back. This is a very, it's going to be a very emotional game for sure. I don't think the fans are going to be too pleased with him because it's been quite a while since they've seen him. But if you're a Cleveland fan, you believe in this. You believe in the system. DeShaun Watson, you're paying him $230 million. He's your quarterback. Got a lot of good pieces in Cleveland, and this is going to be a very important experiment year for the Browns to get as much as they can. It's definitely going to work out for them because this is great. This is an opportunity for Watson to come back from his suspension into Houston to get necessary closure, any sort of restitution that he can conjure. I mean, you can't atone equally what you have put these women through. This is a very important. I really hope that he does the right thing as much as he can. So Kemba Walker is signing with the Dallas Mavericks. The The Mavericks are playing the Warriors tonight on TNT. We're going to be watching a little bit of that, a little bit of hockey, Canucks and Capitals, of course. Just a horrendous year, last couple of years. Last year with the Knicks. Kemba was with the Celtics. Previously with that, those couple of seasons, he was not finding his footing. He was not able to return to the all-star starter shape that he was in Charlotte. I believe that was his last year with the Hornets. Like, this guy's got a lot of talent, and he's been able to make a name for himself. No doubtedly, because he's only 6 feet tall. He does have a commanding presence and a commanding ability to create space for him, to drive, to shoot. And I think it's an excellent opportunity for Kemba, because the Mavericks, I feel like they very much need help. Luka cannot be doing all of this on his own. He's turning into the next Harden, not into the next LeBron. You can make those parallels, because I wouldn't say that Harden is himself. When he returns, obviously I don't want any players to be injured. I want him to come back. I want him to play. And I want the Sixers to get something done this season. I think that they're just going to end up being a play-in team. But back to Kemba, back to the Mavericks, I really do think that Doncic has got to get some help around him. Losing Porzingis, I think, was not a good avenue that the Mavericks went. That was a little bit shocking for me, because Porzingis is playing very, very well, but in Washington. But that's just simply not the case with the Mavericks. Maybe it was just a matter of patience, but I'm excited to see where that goes for sure.